Okay, so I will kick off today by saying welcome everyone to our October workshop. It's great to have you all here today. Thanks for taking that time out of your day to join us, whether it's a little later if you're on the East Coast, a little earlier if you're on the West Coast, or if you're here in Edmonton with most of us, except for John. You're right around your noon time. So thank you for taking that time out. You probably already know, but the workshop you are joining today is regarding some 5 key lessons from HubSpot's Inbound this year. And we're going to talk all about how those are going to help you to innovate your tech stack. So sales, marketing, services, business, everything in that area. So again, if you missed the note on Q&A or questions, feel free to ask your questions in the Q&A panel or in the chat panel, and Seher will be answering them. He'll be our question moderator for today. He's going to be taking all those questions. And of course, at the end of the presentation, we will also have set aside some time for questions as well. Oops. Sorry, everyone, it doesn't want to go. Okay, so let's start with who we are. We are Flawless Inbound, which I'm sure you already know. And we are here to help you unlock your business potential through sales, marketing, and service enablement, as well as with our brand new partnership with NetSuite, Enterprise Resource Planning Solutions. I know today we're here to talk about HubSpot, but we are also NetSuite partners. So that's an important note if you are interested in ERP solutions for your industry as well. We sort of started out, some of you might know us or think of us perhaps as a marketing agency, but we like to, we are not just a marketing agency, we are a full service business enablement partner for you. And we're here to, make sure that you can rise above the noise, that's our slogan, and thrive and grow your business. And in this case, with the 2020 and everything that's happened this year, we're also here to help you, get back on the fast track for business recovery as we head into, Q4 of 2020 and Q1 of 2021. Oh, my controls don't want to work, but so yes, like I mentioned, we're here to talk about HubSpot today. We are a HubSpot partner. We are one of the only North American, I believe we're the only Canadian advanced implementation partner for HubSpot. And we've been a HubSpot partner for about 6 years now. And we are a brand new Oracle NetSuite partner. So we're also able to provide all of those solutions to you. There's Seher, letting you know that we have completed over 120 successful implementations for these platforms, and we are working with around that many B2B, B2C organizations in our lifetime. And we worked with organizations that I would say are from anywhere from the range of 5 million to 200 million plus organizations. So we're very excited to be new Oracle NetSuite partners, and you are free to reach out and talk to us all about that after the presentation. But today, as you know, we will be focusing mostly on HubSpot. So yeah, like I said, over the past 6 years, we've worked with about 120 B2Bs, all kinds of revenue, both in Canada and in the United States. These are a few examples of some of the wonderful clients that we have worked with in the past. So we have a few of you, I believe I saw some Rohit team members here. So there you are, your representation. I think there's probably some team members from some of these other organizations joining us as well. And I also wanted to say, before I forget, a special welcome to any of the other Vistage partners that are joining us today. We are a member of Vistage, and I know we saw if you had registered for today's webinar, so special welcome to you guys as well.
So, Erica, I would like to quickly also add, if they haven't noticed yet, I'm guessing we are also the only HubSpot and NetSuite partners who assign uniforms to its employees.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, blazers and flawless t-shirts, that's the standard for webinars. So that's why Sahar's not presenting. It's because he didn't wear his t-shirt.
I don't know about you guys, but I wear mine to sleep. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess glasses are required too from presenters. So that's going to be necessary. All right, so speaking of presenters, let's introduce ourselves. I'll actually let the other presenters introduce themselves as well. I don't need to speak for them, but I'll start. My name is Erica. I am a growth strategist at Flawless Inbound. I have been an account manager and a content strategist in the past, so I've grown through a lot of roles, and I have worked with a lot of different clients in a lot of different capacities, from HubSpot implementations all the way to websites, to full growth programs, and everything in between. So I am excited to talk about all the new updates from HubSpot. I use it every day, and I use it not just for my clients that I work with, but I use it for Flawless ourselves. So these are really exciting updates, and I'm very happy to let you guys know what they are. Otherwise, I'll go to, because he's below me in my chat window, I'll go to John next. I'll let him introduce himself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm talking to you from Vancouver. I lead the business operations for Flawless Inbound here on the West Coast. I've been with Flawless for almost 2.5 years now. I've been in the B2B space for the last 6 years. And the reason why they hired me is he was able to predict this pandemic about 3 years ahead of time. And since I was a microbiologist, he also thought that I'll be able to maintain the health of the team better and bring in best practices of how to safeguard the team, the team from this infection. So hello from Vancouver.
Guess that means I have to go next. So my name is Max Prema. I am, like John, a member of the consulting team here at Flawless Inbound. The region I look after here is Alberta. I am based out of Edmonton, but I am not in the office today. I am working from home. Like John, I have a extensive background in the B2B world over the last 5 years, and been one of the only employees, I think, at Flawless Inbound who has worked from home more than work from the office. This crazy thing happened in March 2020 that kind of sent us all home, but we've been able to adapt, and it's been working well. So excited to present my part today.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Sorry, I was trying to, I see you can see all the slides. I was trying to change to presenter view so I could also see some of my notes, but I will change it back as well for you. Okay, so basically going from there, the agenda for today, we already did the intro, so you're past that. We're going to give a brief overview of HubSpot as an enterprise growth platform, just to give you guys a little bit of an update on what do these new inbound updates mean for HubSpot, and how is it evolving and changing as a platform. We'll have our top 5 HubSpot inbound announcements. Those are listed there. So custom objects, marketing contents, programmable email, reporting, and proposals. Then we have a few other important updates that were shared at Inbound or prior to that we want to make sure that you guys are aware of. And then we'll do a couple of closing remarks and takeaways, and we'll jump into the Q&A. So let's get started right away. So HubSpot as your enterprise growth platform. Many of you might be, lots of you are probably using HubSpot already, or even if you aren't, you might think of it maybe as a marketing automation software. You might think of it as a CRM software. You might even think, oh, it has, customer service capabilities. But really overall, HubSpot, especially with these new announcements from this year's Inbound, is evolving past being just one or a combination of those items. They're really becoming your ready to go all-in-one solution for sales, marketing, and services. We say your enterprise growth platform. It has basically everything you need to run your marketing automation, your CRM, your customer service, your deal pipelines. And there's a few announcements you'll see here today that really make sure that if you're using HubSpot, you need to embrace the full platform, the full tools to help you, recover and then grow your business as we move into 2021. So Inbound 2020, the top 5 product/solution announcements. Like I said before, these are listed here: custom objects, marketing content, contacts, programmable email, reporting, and proposals. These are the top 5 from a business perspective, because they are the ones that are going to have the biggest impact on your business. Some of them are on marketing side, some of them are on the sales side. But either way, these are the 5 items that HubSpot announced or updated at Inbound this year that are going to really impact the way that you run your business and the way that you run your business through HubSpot. So the first one is custom objects. So custom objects allows you to match the Sales Hub to the specific needs of your business. If you HubSpot, runs its standard objects as contacts, companies, and deals. That's how you typically in the past were able to sort and apply your marketing and your sales to those objects. But for a lot of companies in a lot of industries, there isn't a good way to store your company's data and the data that you need about your customers and your leads under those 3 sort of standard properties. But there's no need to worry about that anymore, because now you have custom objects. So HubSpot Enterprise clients will now have the ability to create and name flexible objects. And we'll get into a couple of examples of those in a second. You can determine what properties those objects have, what properties can be applied to those objects, and you can decide whether other objects can be associated with the custom ones that you create. So if you create a custom object for, say, referrals like they have here, you can decide if you want to be able to associate that with a deal, or if you don't want to be able to associate it with anything. So I have a few examples here of some custom objects that you could create using this new feature. So the first one being some general examples. That would be, you can use referrals, onboarding, memberships, customer service, deliverables, resources, any sort of other conversion object that you use. And there's a few examples here from specific industries, and I'm sure that there are a few of you joining from each of these specific industries right now. So if we don't have any examples that apply to your industry, you can always ask in the questions or reach out following the webinar, and we can provide you with some examples of some items that might work for your business. But essentially, in the manufacturing industry, we have some objects you might think of using would be managing your orders or tracking shipments, or tracking complex or really high value products, which aren't really going to fit into the standard deals platform there. And also you can use them to manage site inspections. For software companies, you can, again, managing subscriptions is a really popular item that couldn't previously be completed as thoroughly inside of HubSpot, and now you'll be able to fully manage all of those in there. Again, you can use them to track companies that have multiple locations, multiple facilities, and also a huge item that applies not just to software companies is managing or using a custom object for add-ons and upgrade sales for your current customer. So you could have a separate object just for upgrades. In the e-commerce side, that one you could have a retailer's object just specifically to keep them separate from, say, other companies or customer companies or customer contacts. You can keep retailers separate. You could have a suppliers or a contracts object, so you can keep track of those there and manage them. And again, same idea as manufacturing, you can have a shipments for complex orders section there. So if there are, and again, like I said, if you don't see an example there that relates to your industry, please feel free to ask. And if you'd like some more clarification on these items and on custom objects in general, please reach out at the end of the presentation in the Q&A.
I mean, Eric, I would like to add a point here for manufacturing, right? Some of the specific use cases we have helped with is for these custom objects. Now, manufacturers, they work with a lot of distributors. And sometimes your interaction is solely with these distributors. And you don't know who's the end user or what exactly they're buying. Sometimes end users hop from one distributor to the next. In these cases, what you can do with these custom objects is you can tag those end users along with your dealer deals, and you'll be able to map the journey of what's happening at your end user site, or what are they interested in, finally what transaction happened, and all this is important information to you, as well as in maintaining commission structures and all that for your sales team. Also, there's also the possibility to use the custom objects to link, and there's also something called field permissions, field level permissions on HubSpot. And you can combine these custom objects, very specific information for your business, along with the field level restrictions, and you can run workflows. So Erica talked about contacts, companies, and all these data fields on HubSpot. Custom objects are just like those. You can use those custom objects, and you can activate automations and workflows that is going to make your team very efficient, very transparent, and even activate some of the processes downstream with these workflows. So that's one of a very powerful application of custom objects in manufacturing.
Yeah, and across all industries, you can definitely use all of these custom objects in your workflows and your sequences and everything else that you're doing on the CRM and marketing side for your automation.
Erica, can I add one thing, just because I'm seeing some questions coming in, I'm trying to answer them as well. Sometimes we've seen that with organization, either you are in the pharma industry or in healthcare or in other industries as well. And I can see from the audience, there's a lot of attendance from those industries. Think about custom object more as a way for you to consolidate your IT spending. So maybe in the past, you had to kind of get a developer and he write a very custom software for your business to kind of manage it properly. And then you had a CRM, and then you had automation and things like that. What HubSpot did with the custom object is it's a way for you to think outside the box to say, hey, instead of me paying for different kind of stack of software to let me run my business and build a commerce platform out of it, it's a way to actually think about consolidating, reducing your spend in IT, and then kind of manage everything in a single dashboard and a single platform. So that can be also another way of thinking of custom objects.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. For sure. I am just wondering, I can't, sorry, technical difficulty here for 1 second. I can't see my notes on the slide, which is why I was trying to do it this way. But when I do it this way, you can see the whole screen.
Yeah, we can.
Sorry, let me try this again because I need to be able to share the notes. So 1 second, sorry everyone, quick technical difficulty.
So while Eric is doing that, if you guys have any questions for us so far, and I know there's some questions are coming, at least Q&A here, but if you have any questions for us, so what do you like to see? What's the biggest, what's the biggest business focus that you are trying to group your team together to think of prepping for 2021? We also want this to be more of an open conversation. Like I know the team will be kind of addressing more of things around new functions coming in HubSpot, but even regardless of HubSpot, what are the business problems you guys are trying to fix right now? Is it revenue? Is it net profit? Is it expanding sales? Like what's the big thing you guys that can be top of mind for you guys and for your organization right now? Let me just check my chat here. I know, Paul, you had one questions. I hope that answered your question. I can see a lot of other people joining in as we speak still. Oh, here you go. There's a question coming in.
Can you still see the whole thing?
We can, yeah, we can see the whole presentation.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what the best,
If you keep it this way, it might be better if you want.
no,
Okay.
I should share the whole presentation, but I do need to be able to see my notes, so I'm not sure.
Erica, I have the presentation open on
that's
mine.
okay.
Do you want me to share? And
Well, then you can't see your notes unless you don't need
oh,
them.
my notes are written in front of
It's very
me. It's
different.
fine.
So what
Yeah.
we can switch to
Yeah,
this
if
better.
we can switch to
Might be
that,
better.
then that would be good.
Okay.
Max can, yeah.
Sure.
That's better.
Just give me
I think
a
there was a couple of
moment.
questions here.
Don't know why that's not working, because it usually allows you to just share the screen when you're in presenter view.
Okay. I think Paul is having a question, so I'll just move Paul off mute while you guys are doing this. And Paul, are you able to hear us now? Can you ask your question? I might have missed it.
Is that where you want to be, Erica, or next slide already?
This one's fine if we have a question regarding
Okay.
it.
Paul, if you have a question, you are on mute right now.
I think Paul was raising his hand, but I was not sure if.
Oh,
no questions. Okay,
No
no
question,
problem.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, we're ready then.
Okay. Now we can move on to the next slide, which is, or the next slide after that, which is the marketing contacts section. So this is a really important update that allows you from now on to really only pay for the contacts you need. If you're already using HubSpot, you certainly know this. If you're not using HubSpot yet, you'll find that there are contact limits on the marketing contacts that you can upload into HubSpot. And previously, once you passed the limit, regardless of whether you were actually using those contacts or not, or if they were just there for sales purposes, or if they were customers that you were just tracking, those ones you would still have to count them towards your contact limit. But not any longer. So now HubSpot offers free contact storage for up to 1 million non-marketing contacts. So that means that you can now send, so if you hit next, there is a little explanation here about what are marketing versus non-marketing contacts. So marketing contacts are essentially those contacts that can be sent mass marketing emails. Your non-marketing contacts cannot be sent those emails. However, marketing contacts count towards your tier of being charged, and non-marketing contacts do not. And the last thing is that non-marketing contacts can still be used in your sales activities. So you can still speak to them from a one-to-one perspective from your sales team. And you don't need to worry, about having these sales contacts taking up room in your marketing contact database. So that's a really exciting update. You can also set some automatic triggers for when a contact becomes non-marketing or marketing as well. And it will automatically set all of your bounced and unsubscribed contacts as non-marketing. So you don't have to worry about those ones taking up space either, even if you don't want to delete them. So that's really encouraging. Particular note, if you're an existing customer, you can switch over to this new contact tier system at the time of your HubSpot renewal. If you don't already have HubSpot and you decide to get it, congrats, you just have it. So there you go. But if you are an existing HubSpot customer, just know that when you are renewing your HubSpot, you can switch over to this new style of contact tiering, and you can get access to your 1 million non-marketing contacts at that time.
This will be especially useful for, let's say, a SaaS company or a software company where you have one subscription, but then you have multiple users who start using it from your client's end. And all these users, once they sign in, they can be counted as marketing contacts on the HubSpot side previously. But now what this means is, with this feature, you'll be able to separate them and still not lose the number of contacts that you get with your HubSpot license prescription. So that's why this is very powerful. And even with companies, businesses who are working with partners, right? Sometimes you want to sell to partners, but at the same time, there are already partners who are in your CRM. So you can exclude them from any sales or marketing campaigns and demarcate them according to these features without losing your ability to maintain like the 1,000 or the 10,000 contacts that you signed up for.
Yeah, absolutely. Next we have programmable email. So this is a new feature that is basically an update to the marketing emails feature in HubSpot that is going to allow you to personalize your email content at a level that was never previously possible from the software. So you can deliver highly customized, highly personalized emails at a big scale. So to all of your marketing contacts, to 2,000 people at a time, and you only have to worry about maintaining one email template, and you're only going to be sending your customers information that is personalized to them. And even better, you can do it from the drag and drop email template, so you don't have to worry about getting into the design manager or the code and rejigging things around in there, and you can just do it quite simply from the drag and drop editor. So an example of this would be if you were a real estate agency, say, so that's the little photo here, you could build an email just one email to send customized property listings to your contacts based on criteria that they had previously indicated to you, like where they were looking to buy their home, number of bedrooms, their budget, etc. And you can program that personalized information into your email, and the content will dynamically update with links, photos, information, homes, all in that recipient's target neighborhood, in their target budget. And it'll appear, you can see in this template example, there are some little like property address personalization fields. So that's what's going to populate with that information. And you would send this out like a newsletter, for example, and every week you would send them their list of, I'm sure that anybody who's ever been on the search for a home has experienced these emails. And so you can do that, and you can program it for whatever kind of information is relevant to contacts in your industry. So if you want to send them new upgrades, new updates, if you're a SaaS company, for example, and you want to make sure that they're getting personalized updates based on their industry, you can program that into one template, and you don't have to worry about creating 5 or 6 different templates per industry or per client type, etc.
Yeah, just to connect this to the custom objects. The custom objects, very specific information for your business, can be segmented, and then you can start using the programmable email. So what you're getting is a very tight control and highly specific campaigns for these specific business property that you have custom objects for.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really important because, as we all know, in 2020, it's been a difficult year for a lot of businesses, and people are sort of struggling to see where they can find the most value and what sorts of companies are going to give them the most value for their money at this time. And so something like this that seems fairly simple, but allows you to send that exact personalized information to your prospect and not trouble them with things that aren't relevant to them, and not make sure that they're getting just exactly what they need from you each week. And they can expect that. That's going to help them, to trust you as an advisor for them, and that you understand, how they can improve their business as well. So now I am actually going to pass it on to John, because following all of these exciting new updates, you might be wondering, how am I going to report on all of these items? So in addition to all of this, HubSpot has also updated all of their sales and marketing reporting tools. And so John is going to speak a little bit about how that kind of new reporting, new streamlined reporting can help you as well.
Thank you, Erica. Not a little bit. I'm going to talk a lot.
You're going to talk a lot about that. Yes, you're going to talk entirely about that.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. As you see, I'm super excited. I'm so excited, in fact, that I took a shower today. I'm working from home, and I'm trying to make a joke here. You guys should go and try it with your sales team, sales leaders on this call. Ask them to take a shower only once a week. You kind of achieve two things by doing that. One thing is that you're becoming more eco-friendly, stopping all the soap from getting into our waterways. And the second thing is it makes the deals more sticky. Right? So you guys should try that.
Don't actually do that, anybody. That's unqualified advice.
Anyways, yeah, I was trying to freelance here. But, for sales leaders, this specifically for sales leaders, we know the common problems that we face. Like one of the common complaints that we face is that the CRM is too complex and the sales executives are not using, they're using only a small component of the CRM. And when you talk to the sales rep, HubSpot did a survey and they say 50% of them say that the CRM is too cumbersome to use. And that's the reason why they don't use many of the features. Now that's old story. But now every sales leader is being faced with a new challenge. And that is they are kind of struggling to have more control over their deal pipeline, and they're struggling to have that one-on-one relationship. And especially the impact is severe on teams, for example, sales teams in manufacturing or businesses that are heavily reliant on trade shows, events, and all that, right? They are involved in building relationships to be able to close their deals successfully. And because it's not there anymore, either it's been completely shut down or those opportunities have dramatically reduced, they're being asked to do something that they are unfamiliar with, that is selling from a distance. And these teams that have been doing it traditionally are kind of struggling to make that transition. And sales leaders are especially seeing that because of this, they're not having the same control over the deal pipeline. And because of that, their forecasting is getting getting impacted. It's not very accurate. And there's a lot of frustration. So this is where it becomes critical for every sales leader to be data-driven, to be able to make that transition successfully. Now, it's easy. It's one thing to say that be data-driven, because we don't have time to dig through tons of reports and data to figure out what's important for us and what's not. There are a lot of CRMs. CRMs are getting complicated by the day. They can give you a tons of reporting, but a lot of people are not using that because it's difficult to figure out CRMs, right? And this is where I'm super excited about presenting these updates from HubSpot, because what HubSpot did here, which they started out many, many years ago, is they have combined an enterprise-grade CRM with AI-driven, and they've augmented that with AI-driven sales acceleration tools. It's a very intuitive CRM, super easy to use. I've used 3 CRMs before I started using HubSpot. So I have a quick trivia question for those who are listening to me. I've used before 2 CRMs that starts with S, and there's one that starts with Z, and this is the 4th one that I'm using, HubSpot, right? So anyone who can figure out the answers and type it in the chat panel, and whoever gets it right the first time, we will be sending them, if you guys can see it, right in front of my face. No, this not work. Okay, there it is. The Journey to the Summit. It's a digital marketing playbook for B2B marketers. We'll be emailing that to you. So 2 CRMs that starts with S and 1 that starts with Z. I don't want to throw any brand name under the bus here, so that's why I'm making this into a nice little game here. So what it did is, so as I said, like an enterprise-grade CRM with AI-powered sales acceleration tools. For example, to maximize the selling time for your sales team, one thing they did is they have the AI component of HubSpot, which runs on the back end. It can scan signatures in the prospect's email automatically, right? Or scan an email and capture that information and create contacts for you in your CRM automatically. And this is going to maximize the selling time for your sales team because this is less data entry. And actually, HubSpot did a survey, and their statistics show that this can save as much as an hour in every sales rep's selling time per week, having a feature like this. And for the sales leader, what it does is it brings together all this data, and this massive upgrade in sales analytics that they have helps you to dig deeper into your sales pipeline and get a very healthy view of your pipeline. And not just that, it gives you, because of this easy accessible data and the customization of the data fields that HubSpot makes possible through their new update, you will be able to pull the data and get actionable insights and have better control over your deals, have much better forecasting accuracy, and also it will help you to be a much better and effective leader in being able to use this data and coach your sales team to be able to successfully navigate these challenging times, right? So that's kind of the introduction, but now we'll go on to a few of the important features that I want to point out to sales leaders on HubSpot. So the first feature that we want to talk about here is called the deal funnel report. So on the next slide here, the deal funnel report, there are certain out-of-the-box reports for HubSpot users, but for those who are on the professional and the enterprise license here on the Sales Hub, there are more than 20 powerful reports that they've added that you can start utilizing. The deal funnel report, what it does is, right now, as you see the screenshot here, it gives you the overall efficiency of your deal funnel, right? And not just that, you see on the right side there, HubSpot also uses the AI component to go back into the history of your funnel, right? And to the performance of your sales team. And it can kind of predict the conversion rates across the different stages of your pipeline. Now, why is this important for you as a sales leader is that now when you do your roll-up reporting, when you report to your president or your CEO, you're not just basing your forecasting on what your sales rep is telling you. You are being data driven, and that makes at least it increases the chances of you being able to accurately predict the coming revenue for a particular quarter, right? So again, as I said, this is currently available for users that are on the Sales Professional or Enterprise Hub. The next feature that I want to talk about here is called Deal Pipeline Waterfall, right? And this is something I'm super excited about. You know, if you think about this, if you are familiar with this, this is something that businesses use BI tools to generate for them. But now with HubSpot Sales Hub, anyone on the professional license or the enterprise license can use this deal pipeline waterfall report. Now just imagine, as a sales leader, if you can easily figure out the why behind the changes in your pipeline, right? Like you'll be able to see exactly the health and the flow and the evolution of the pipeline from the start of the fiscal year or towards mid-year or in a particular quarter on a weekly basis too. But this report, what it does is, just to be a little more clear, provide more clarity here, it gives you a sum total of specific changes to deals that's happening within your deal pipeline. It could be like if a deal gets pushed, a deal gets if there is an increase in value for a deal or a decrease in value for a deal. Basically, it gives you the health of your deal pipeline in a single glance. And why is this important for you as a sales leader? Now you can take this why information to your sales meeting, to your weekly sales meeting, and you can refocus the priority of your sales team depending upon what's happening in your pipeline. And the other critical thing is that this is a very good view to give the health of the pipeline, overall view of the health of the pipeline, not just for the leadership, but if you also have investors involved in your business, like when you meet with them, quarterly business reviews, they can quickly scan what's happening with your pipeline and the overall health of your pipeline. And this is very easy. You don't have to dig through tons of reports to be able to get that. You can customize this so that this is at your fingertip anytime that you want. So moving from this, the next feature I want to talk about here is called the deal history change over time. Now, as sales leaders, we all have these specific target deals that we track across different pipelines in any given quarter, right? Imagine being able to go to this report and get up to the minute updates on what's happening with these deals. Just imagine how powerful that is, right? It can keep track of new deals being added or the value increasing or decreasing, right? Or dates being pushed, or even deals that are regressing to an earlier stages in your sales process. So what you can do now is that as a sales leader, you can be so well prepared for the sales meeting, and you can help your sales team focus on these specific targets in any given quarter and strategize with them, right? And this is very critical these days, because as I said, I started this by saying that sales leaders are not having as much control and insights into what's happening with their deals. Now, this one, deal change history over time, that gives you much powerful information and makes you data driven when you go step into that sales meeting every week with your sales rep. And again, this is available right now for those who are on the sales professional as well as on the enterprise license. Let me check the time here. Not bad. All right, now let's move on to the next feature. Next one. Now, we talked about how to look at reporting, how to make sense of what's happening with your pipeline, right? With your pipeline health, and how now this is about sales analytics. Now, your sales team might be in manufacturing or might be in some other sector. You might have had to move to a new sales model, right? Or adopt certain steps in your sales process that your team is not comfortable with. This is where HubSpot becomes your best ally as a sales leader. For example, the screen here, sales analytics, it talks about total calls. We in Flawless Inbound, we started doing a lot of cold calls, right? You're doing really good with inbound leads. Not the same thing anymore. People don't have that many dollars to invest, right? So we have to be proactive in our prospecting. This here breaks down, for example, if you're talking about calls, any particular performance of your sales team, it breaks it down according to every single rep that you have. And all these reports that I'm talking about, right, you can customize it to look at specific markets, to look at specific pipelines, or even specific sales team as a sales leader. Now you can look into that, and either you're the VP of sales or the sales manager, you can look at the metrics and compare salespeople and individually coach them, right? And this way, you also have data to back up your claims. And it also makes you an effective sales leader, because now you're empathizing with your sales team and you're helping them, survive, right? And you're helping them boost their morale and helping them achieve their quota. So that's what HubSpot, these new features will empower you to do, become a better sales coach. Sometimes, and these days, it requires you to be hands-on, because especially if you're introducing new channels and new prospecting approaches, you need this kind of powerful data. Other than that, the next feature that I want to talk about is, again, this is in beta. This is not currently live, but being able to look at individual reps based on pipelines or based on sales teams or based on different markets. You can look at their progress and you can look at forecast, and you can see who is going to achieve their quota or not. And this is for your eyes only, by the way, right? And as a sales manager, you're on top of what your team is doing, who is struggling here a bit, and who might need that comforting hand around their shoulders, right? So I know, like a lot of sales managers these days, they're trying to kind of temper their expectation for their sales team, because let's all be honest, right? It's not easy prospecting outbound and all that. But how do you keep your pipeline moving? You got to look at this. Not only you should be focusing on hitting the quota, but you should be focused on coaching your sales team. You all know that. So you can use this to help individual sales rep out, and you can base your decisions on data, right? And you can see, for example, who might need a few more deals to be delegated to their pipeline to be able to help them achieve the quota and all that. So as I said, this is in beta again, but this is a powerful tool when you put on your sales leader / coaching hat. The next feature I would like to move on here is, again, this is another feature I'm super excited about. This is again in beta, available pretty soon, will be available for those on professional and the enterprise sales hub. So what this is saying here is that, I'll just make it very simple for you. Imagine now, as a sales leader or as a marketing leader, you can have all your key metrics, all your key data points in one place that you can access. You can pull in any data and compare each other, right? To look at this data's impact on your overall performance. How cool would that be? You don't have to skim through 20 different reports to get that. For example, if you are a sales leader, let's say outbound calling, in a sales leader in manufacturing, outbound calling is a new step that you are saying you're making mandatory for your sales team. And you guys have put together a new sales script, right, for these outbound calls. Now you want to see how the script is working across different teams or across different regions. And what you can do is you can take this particular campaign, this sales script, and you can combine it with, you can compare it with the different sales team across regions and look at the new deals created or the new opportunities created in the pipeline through this. Just imagine how powerful that is. Again, right now you can access over 10 data sources, but there'll be more additional data sources that you'll be able to combine and match. For a marketing leader, you can start comparing your email campaigns with the amount of the deals being created in the pipeline. You can actually compare it to see the impact. And as a sales marketing leader, as an entire business, this gives you more information about your sales and marketing alignment. And all this can be customized for you so that this is available anytime that you want. You're not creating this from scratch every time that you need it, right? So very cool one. So keep an eye on this. This will be live soon. The next one, the next feature that I'm talking about, Flexi Dashboard. This is again in beta. I apologize, there's no screenshot. We didn't have much numbers to show. It's like a bunch of bar charts and all that. So I thought I can talk more for this. Why is this important for a team? For the team leadership is that, again, it reduces the amount of time that you spend. It helps you as leaders to look at the key metrics and compare all of them together in one dashboard. You can ignore everything else, bring together, consolidate, right, all the key metrics that you need to keep your eye on to see how your business is moving forward and where you need to double down or where you need to be changing your approach to be able to achieve your growth goals. That's why we call it the flexible dashboards. And the cool thing with this is you can share these dashboards with your leadership team, with anyone that you want, with your board, with your investors, etc., etc. So just to tell you the impact of this, is about going in, and you have tons of data through HubSpot, being able to customize a dashboard and create a view where you look at only the metrics that are critical for one particular quarter for you to achieve your growth goals. So that's what you get with flexible dashboards. So again,
I just wanted to add, there's a lot of things that are, not a lot of things, a few of the last things have been in beta still. If you are interested in trying them out, a lot of the items that are in beta, you can be added to the beta if you would like to be one of the people who's trying them out. Not everything, some things are exclusive betas, but I do believe that a lot of these dashboard items are available betas. So if you would like to be added to those betas, definitely reach out to either if you have HubSpot already, obviously that's why you'd be doing this. You could let us know, or you can reach out to your HubSpot rep and ask to be added to those betas. You can definitely do that.
Good point. Thank you, Erica. Now you can see why I'm so excited as a sales leader, being able to be data driven, right, and being able to see everything and keep track of my sales team. Now we are just skimming the surface here, and if you are excited by what you see, wait till you see what Max has to present about the proposal feature. Max, over to you.
Yeah, I guess it's been a while since I've talked, so I've been doing some vocal cord exercises while on mute here. But anyways, here goes. Regarding, so Erica kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but HubSpot is already an enterprise growth solution for sales marketing services, and the features continue to get expanded. So what do I mean by that? On the sales enablement side of the platform, one thing we have to give some credit to HubSpot for is that they listen to their end users and they listen to their partner network. So HubSpot had a great sales enablement platform, you know, in 2019 and 2020 up until inbound into their inbound conference. But one thing that it was always lacking was the one thing that was able to actually get you signed business. And so what was that? A proposal making software. So within now HubSpot, both pro and enterprise level, there's proposal making. So within the actual template, within the program itself, you have a number of things available to you. So firstly, you have templates. You have CRM contact data sync, which is going to really speed up the process. No more making proposals from scratch and like a Microsoft Word or a program like that. Now you're going to have one template, or depending, you know, what kind of industry, and maybe you have several products, several services. You don't want to use the same kind of templates. For those, you can have a number of templates to utilize for depending what your offering is. Really important one, especially for those of us working from home during COVID-19. You need to sell somehow, and often a signature is the thing that makes a contract binding. But nowadays, we need to rely on the virtual signature, and that's something that's going to be available in the HubSpot proposal template, is the ability for someone to go and e-sign right at the very end of your proposal and authorize it for you. And lastly, John had already alluded to this, but custom reporting. Now you can see, you know, instead of sending out a unlinked version of a proposal, whether that's a PDF document, whether maybe you're already using a proposal software like Proposify or something that isn't integrated perhaps with your CRM or your sales enablement program. Now you're going to get reporting on how effective your proposal is. You're going to get valuable analytics about what pages are being looked at, how long the prospect has spent on the proposal. Did they click the links in there that you put in there for you? All of that engagement. You know, did they ask any questions? Did they make any notes on the page that you can view? All of that engagement is now trackable. So an extremely important update to HubSpot's Sales Hub. Lastly, you know, position yourself now. You know, we have this very cool, very intuitive workflow in proposals now embedded within Sales Hub and Sales Enterprise, but a lot of more additional capabilities now have opened up. What do I mean by that? Well, perhaps you have an e-commerce solution, maybe an order management system through an ERP like Oracle NetSuite, where suddenly your proposal being signed can be the trigger point for all those other workflows. For an example, that would be, you know, once someone has signed a proposal for a product, suddenly that sends out a notification all automatically to your warehouse team, to maybe to your suppliers, a vendor notification, right? To start assembling that and getting the process going. Maybe it also goes out to your accounts payable or accounts receivable department to start preparing the invoice. Or if you have a really sophisticated ERP, it's already been done automatically, and it's sending that email to that employee that your order, or pardon me, not employee, to that prospect, that their order has been received and has been processing. All of that now can be done with this really important feature that's been added to HubSpot Sales. One thing I do want to mention too, though, is there is differences between the Pro and the Enterprise licenses of this. So at the Pro license, you have templates, but at the Enterprise license, you do have more customization on how these templates look, what pipelines, what products, what services they can offer. So those are the two big distinctions between the two, but there are some differences. Erica, do you want to just walk us through what's left, and then I'll get back to presenting here?
Yeah, for sure. So those are the top 5 big inbound announcements. Those are the top 5 ones that are going to have the most impact on your business going forward. If you're already using HubSpot, and that are going to probably really draw you in and convince you that this is the platform to use. If you're maybe not using it, I'll say yet. If you're not using it yet. There are a few other product updates that happened either at inbound or just before that we want to make sure that you guys know about, because they're also really important going into the final quarter of this year and into 2021, especially for those people who are already using the platform. So those important updates are there's some sales platform updates, as well as some updates to the app, and then the ABM tools, which I'm sure you've probably already heard of. If you haven't, very exciting, and as well as some users and permissions updates as well. So I'll let Max continue on the sales platform updates.
All right, well, let's get into this. You guys are still stuck with me for a little bit longer. So in the event that you're in the audience and you need to go to the bathroom, now would be a good time. Just kidding. So one, again, another feature that was announced at Inbound 2020 is the new task view. So we've worked with a lot of sales leaders and sales organizations over the past 6 years, and we've noticed a couple of things. Some are very activity focused, while some are very task focused and are focused on hitting milestones. So maybe if they're an account management rep versus a outbound rep. So now HubSpot did a very good job for making a strong platform for the outbound rep, but now they're looking at the milestone account manager task focused rep. So what do I mean? Now HubSpot in their task view, they've always had a task function, but it was very simplified. You can just check off that you've emailed a client like you said you would, or that you phoned a prospect like you said, and that would update on the reporting view, but it wouldn't really give the rep or the account manager the insights they needed. So now if you see on the image there on the right-hand side, we have reporting in real time where reps can actually benchmark themselves on what they've done in the past. So they can look at previous weeks of, hey, what did I have my best sales month? What did I have my best sales week? How many activities and how many touch points did I have that contributed to that strong week? And then they go and they say, okay, I want to ensure that I'm not falling behind from my work in the previous week. So I need to be more active. I need to advance sales cycles from my pipeline, from maybe from exploratory phases to goal setting phases to proposal state phases, and hopefully to won deals. So now you can see that you can really see your productivity in real time. Sales leaders on the call right now, you can set KPI with your reps and say, you know what, the most successful reps in our business made X amount of phone calls per week and X amount of emails and booked this many meetings. And you can set that so that the rep can actually see, hey, am I holding my weight here? Or am I falling behind? Or perhaps maybe I'm exceeding, right? Maybe there's a rock star sales rep for you, right? All of that now gives them some accountability and that benchmark that I was talking about. Moving on, one of the best kept secrets by HubSpot is sales playbooks. So this is a kind of an AI update to HubSpot. So picture, I imagine sales leaders on this call right now, managers, directors, if you onboarded a new sales rep, I'm sure part of the onboarding process with them was an employee handbook that walked them through, or something similar to that walked them through your sales process, who your customers are, who your prospects are, what product and service offerings you have, what are the differences in the sales cycle between selling one versus the other. All of that, very granular, very meticulous, right? Because you've been doing it for years and you know how to sell. But it's hard to tell whether unless you're actually on the call with the rep, or hopefully not micromanaging them, it's tough to tell how well they've actually adopted that. Well, that's no longer. With sales playbooks, you can actually build that script into HubSpot. So instead of it just being something that they read off generically to the customer, no, it is actually intuitive and interactive so that they can actually click. So as you see in the image here, they have questions and they have fields to add responses in, and things that they can click that respond, that give some valuable sales analytics on how well that rep is managing that call and how qualified that prospect is. So all of that then, as they select things while going through the script, is being tracked and is giving real-time reports, the ones that John and Erica talked about a little bit earlier, on how well are your sales playbooks working, what processes and questions and calls to action are important and are most and contribute most to your one deal. So you can measure this over a matter of weeks, over a matter of months, and be able to see, hey, how many proposals did we have? How many sales people actually used these playbooks and gave us the insights that we needed? All of that. Additionally, too, you can go extremely granular with these playbooks. It's not just one playbook for one product offering. No, you can go by service. You can go by region. Perhaps you're selling to Canada and the United States, and it's completely different selling, let's say where we are here in Alberta versus, let's say Dallas, Texas, right? And you need to pivot your playbook for that market. All of that can be done. You can do it by pipeline. All of that, again, really endless possibilities here on how specific that playbook can get. And the huge advantage there is to now it allows for coaching afterwards. Sales directors, sales managers can sit down and say, perhaps we have to optimize our playbooks, right? I'm sure all of you already have as of COVID-19. Sales is different at the start of the year versus now. And now you need to really evaluate what's working and what's not working and make sure that's reflected in your playbook. Huge one now, AI-powered sales acceleration between HubSpot and LinkedIn. So here in Canada, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with CASL. Acronym stands for Canadian Anti-Spam Legislation. Salespeople cannot prospect via email unless they've received some form of consent from that customer. Maybe they've opted into your email list. They're in a sales negotiation with you. You've called them and they said, yes, I do want to receive emails from you. However, that's great because you can't, you have that capacity to email, call wherever you can. But what if you're prospecting? What if you haven't received that consent yet? What do? Well, a lot of traditional sales reps relied on programs like networking, trade shows. Well, those are no more for the foreseeable future. So what do you do in place? Well, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a really good one because it is not bound by CASL. With LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have, by paying for a license, you have accessibility to the entire LinkedIn database and can do outreach on there and do some sales prospecting. So as you can see here, it's embedded now into HubSpot, and you don't need to have separate tabs open. So now your LinkedIn activities, your messages, your connections, your comments, your posts, whatever you might be doing to socially prospect like that, over social media channels. Now that can be reflected into HubSpot and managed within one platform. You don't necessarily need to be within LinkedIn to use Navigator now. You can send, as you see here, sequences, right? You have personalized templates with the personalization tokens in there, right? Where it can actually extrapolate that person's name, their job title, whatever you want in your prospecting email, and send that out to them. John alluded to this a little bit earlier, but HubSpot has AI-powered email recommendations. What do I mean by that? For those of you who have maybe used Grammarly before, where it says where an AI will tell you to make changes because what you wrote is grammatically incorrect. Now HubSpot has actually adapted that to sales. What do I mean? If you're sending out a sales prospecting message on LinkedIn, it's going to make recommendations for, hey, your subject line is too long. Chances are that won't be opened, right? You haven't asked a lot of questions in your email, in your prospecting message. That's not going to warrant a response, right? All of that can be working on the back end before you send it. So you can really you can see a checklist of things that's needed in a sales email that's going to warrant an open and hopefully warrant a reply. So you can add that prospect into your deal pipeline. As I said, contact properties. If that's, maybe you're reaching out to a prospect, who knows? People are, a lot of people still working from home right now, and they're very, they can be very weird with interacting with them. Maybe they don't answer their phone much. Maybe they don't check their email much, but they are active on LinkedIn. That's where you want to reach out to them from. Well, maybe they're already in your CRM. Now you just work within HubSpot and send them out that messages much quicker. No need to navigate platforms. All of that trackable and can be seen within the task feature that I was showing you a little bit earlier, so that sales leaders can see, there's no more blind spots anymore in the sales prospecting process. Now sales managers and sales leaders can see, oh, my rep has been very active on LinkedIn. It's not like he or she has been doing nothing in the past few hours. That's their preferred prospecting platform. And then evaluate and coach on whether that's working or whether they need to pivot and start trying other things. Next, this one's really important for as the markets reopen. Once sales reps are in the field again, they're gonna have the need for a mobile app to help them be more productive and be able to check off milestones, check off tasks, send emails, scan business cards, all of that. Well, the HubSpot mobile app has been out for a couple of years now, and it works extremely well for those outside sales reps who may not have a book of business or are solely responsible for onboarding new clients. So now that task view that I showed you about, hey, what's their sales productivity like, is all available now on their mobile phone. So they can check their calls, their emails directly from the apps. They can see what they need to do today before their day is done. All of that, they can add new tasks for following days, for follow-ups, for phone calls, for meetings, whatever it might be. The second big update to this too is now, while in the past in the HubSpot mobile app, you could send emails and you could make phone calls. The email engine was very limited on the app versus the desktop version. So now your suite of sales enablement tools, like your meeting link, your templates, your sequences, your snippets, all of that that you've worked really hard on programming on the desktop version, now accessible from the mobile version. So it's no longer just like a basic Outlook email engine. Now you have those tools available to you. So you can send out your meeting link to prospects. You can use your email templates, the sequences that you've programmed, all of that. And this is available now, both on iOS and on Google Play. I am done for now, so I'm going to pass it back to Erica, who's going to walk you guys through account-based marketing tools.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that we are a little bit short on time now, so I'll go a little bit quickly through these, but please save questions and email us after, send them at the end, everything like that. I want to make sure we have time to go through the Q&A. So the ABM tools, if you don't know what ABM is, that stands for account-based marketing. That's when you are basically marketing to a specific hunt list or target list of accounts or companies, and you are high level accounts. These are typically high level accounts, enterprise level accounts that are going to be really impactful and really important for you. And ABM is a really good idea right now because it's a bit of a way where you can specifically and personally target the accounts that are going to make a big difference in your business, as opposed to sort of throwing it marketing out there to any possible new accounts. So the ABM tools in HubSpot have been out for a little bit now. They're not a brand new inbound announcement, but they are brand new, and they are basically some tools in your account where they're available on Sales Pro, I should mention, where you can personalize your content and tailor how you engage with them. This allows for really good collaboration between your marketing teams and your sales teams, because both teams are going to be really highly involved in ABM. And you can see what the example is here on the right. This is the target accounts home view, where you can look over all the target accounts you have, and you can see all the data about them, and you can see, you know, when they were last contacted, when they last responded, when something's been sent to them, and all of those things. So basically, you can see. You can also get a higher level view. You can use what they call out of the box ABM reporting dashboards. So very specific dashboards that will allow you to see all of the data regarding what marketing and what sales have done and what they've both done together to get these accounts. And also you can even use company scoring, a little bit like lead scoring, to identify what are the highest value accounts to you. That'll help you to prioritize who you're reaching out to and when you're reaching out to them, because you can know, you know, this one meets the best score because, say, they have completed this, and this activity, or they meet this, and this standard. And like Max was just talking about, you can actually integrate the ABM tools with both your LinkedIn ads and your Sales Navigator, which really helps you to keep deepening those relationships across platform as well. And the next item that there was an update on at Inbound was user teams and permissions. So user teams and permissions are available only for enterprise level clients, either on marketing or sales. And they are basically, HubSpot in the past allows you to partition certain items like your CRM records, your deal pipeline, your contact record, etc., per user or per team. But this recently received an update. So enterprise clients can now specifically grant permissions to users or teams in a very detailed way, which includes things like properties, landing pages, lists, etc. And this is really important for people who are who want to be using contracts and putting account information onto their clients and prospects, because this will allow you to segment who's allowed to see that specific property. So who's allowed to see the contact information for this person, who's allowed to see the billing information for this person, and that can be done on a user basis or on a team basis. So it's really functional for those people with really high level enterprise accounts that they're selling to. Maybe you're a publicly traded company and you want to have investor accounts on your deal pipeline. You want to have a specific deal pipeline. This is actually a recent discussion that we've had. So you don't want everyone on your team to be able to access information about your potential investors, and this will allow you to specifically segment them away. So the next item is just our general takeaways for today. So we're getting close to Q&A. Give me 2 more minutes to summarize everything, and then you can ask all your questions. Thank you for sticking with us this whole time. The takeaways for today are fairly simple. We're heading into 2021, and 2020 has been a rough year for every business. That is undeniable. And you're going to need a plan to get on the fast track for business recovery and for business growth after that. And you are going to need a platform, a CRM, a marketing platform, a services platform, just a general enterprise growth platform that's going to help you do that. And we are, you know, we have HubSpot, and we recommend HubSpot just based on everything that they have come out with at Inbound this year. The next takeaway is that HubSpot is evolving past just marketing automation or CRM. And if you already have HubSpot, we understand not everybody on this call does, but if you already have HubSpot, are you taking full advantage of it? Are you using all of those features that are available to you, or are you just using it to send emails? Because if you're not taking full advantage of what you're paying for, then you're missing out on a lot of great reporting, a lot of great activities, a lot of great growth that you could be achieving that way. And lastly, whether you're using HubSpot or not, what maybe consider as we leave this presentation, what elements of your marketing or sales tech stack can use some improvement, some optimization. They're going to help you propel into growth. What sort of technology items can you use to improve your marketing and improve your sales process? Is it a lot of the items that we've been talking about today? Is it all of that improved reporting, all of those improved sales dashboards, etc.? So one thing that we want to maybe offer to our viewers today who are already using HubSpot is a HubSpot portal review. So there's so many new features unveiled at 2020 Inbound, even more than what we've spoken about today. So we want you to make sure that your HubSpot portal is properly optimized. So if you are interested in, getting someone to check over your portal, you'll get a follow-up with the recording of this presentation in the next couple of days. You'll get it from either John or Max, and there'll be a link in there to book some time with them to discuss the possibility of what features in your HubSpot might need upgrading, or what features are you not using that you could be using, etc. So that is going to be something that's available to you right away. And we want to, make sure your tech stack is ready for 2021. If you're not using HubSpot yet, and this is super interesting to you, which I hope it was, do the same thing. Reach out, book that meeting time, and we can help you understand which of the products inside the HubSpot suite are going to help you to get your tech stack ready for 2021. So the next thing I want to show you is, I keep saying, get on the fast track to business recovery, get on the fast track for 2020. This is I want to leave you off with a couple of things about Flawless that are going to hopefully give you a little bit of a convincing that we are the right team for you. This is our three-pronged approach to business recovery. It is our platforms, which are HubSpot, like we talked about all day today, and NetSuite as well, the ERP solution. It is our people. We have a full digital marketing and sales team ready to help you with any kind of project that you might have, whether that's HubSpot implementation, whether that's NetSuite implementation, whether that's a program where we help you grow your business through campaigns, etc., or where we help you design your sales process, all of that. And lastly, our playbooks for revenue-driven marketing and sales is, like I said, we've worked with over 120 B2B organizations, successful implementations, and we have those playbooks ready to go and ready to apply to you when you are ready to have us be your pit crew on the fast track to 2021. I don't know anything about car racing, but I'm doing my best. So I hope I'm making sense to those of you who do. And like I mentioned, I said our people are some of our most important things to us. You have a full team of dedicated professionals when you choose to partner with us, whether that's for an implementation project or a full program where you stay with us for a long time. That includes a dedicated account manager, content writer. You get a marketing, sales, and technology team. Those are some of our HubSpot experts. We have a web and graphic designer, and also you have your client success manager and your growth architect / strategist. That's me. And of course, in addition to those, when you are first reaching out to us, you do also have your consulting team, which is the other three people on this call. So I guess one quick note, just so that you remember everything about us. I keep saying all this stuff over and over again, but just so you remember, we are a HubSpot Platinum partner and a new member of the HubSpot Advisory Board. We're one of only 20 partners out of the 2,500 organizations worldwide. We're also a solution partner for Oracle NetSuite, and we have a book, which one of you is getting. I saw that. So one of you will be getting a book, Our Marketing Manager's Journey to the Summit. We're part of Vistage, like I mentioned earlier, and welcomed everyone else from Vistage, as well as a couple of other network organizations, BC Tech and Mars Discovery. We are also the only Canadian organization to hold the HubSpot Advanced Implementation Certificate, and one of only 14 people worldwide who hold that certificate. So last thing before I let you ask your questions is feel free to connect with us. I would highly recommend you connect with one of my 3 other presenters if you're looking to connect on LinkedIn. They are certainly more active on there than I am, but please, if you do anything, follow us on our LinkedIn account. We share all kinds of great information, and that's where you'll find, if you're not subscribed to our email, that's where you'll find all of our workshop invites. You'll see all of our latest blogs on there, everything helpful in that way. You can also connect with us all via email. And like I said, you will find a meeting link if you would like to book time to meet with someone in the follow-up email that you'll get in the next few days, along with the slides here. And as John mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, you can also, it's in the chat right at the top, if you scroll all the way up, you will see our Breakthrough Club YouTube channel there as well. Follow that if you're interested in seeing some really great interviews with some really great sales and marketing leaders as well.
On the topic of LinkedIn, Erica, as well, there's a very, very important pumpkin carving contest poll that we need some participation on. Yeah. So those in the audience, please, it is your right to vote, and we definitely want to see that on that post, especially for my pumpkin. But I will keep that a secret for as they're all confidential.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Follow for that. Okay, finally, it's your time. If you have any questions, I know we went a little bit over time, so if you have any questions, we'll stick around for a little bit, and please feel free to type them in the Q&A now, and we'll answer them live.
Thanks everyone for spending the last hour and a bit with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Yeah,
and we do this every month, so please do follow us and look forward to more events on HubSpot and NetSuite from Flawless.
Thank you, team. And I've been monitoring the Q&A. We've been answering some of them. So I think we covered so far. If you guys have any more questions, just make sure to follow up with the team here. Send us any question, and make sure to follow us on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, I just want to add one point for whoever is left on the call, and this is being recorded to HubSpot. We talked about AI and all that. All that is like on the back end. You don't have to do anything special to activate that on HubSpot. And also we talked about sales, marketing, services. All these can be acquired as separate hubs, separate platforms. It's not that you have to buy everything together. So we don't know what your priorities are as a B2B organization, but if it is sales, yes, the sales hub, you can have access to only the sales hub if you want. And HubSpot is designed in a way that it can grow with your organization and being able to give you the right solution for the right stage of growth. So you don't have to be overwhelmed. And if you are in the process of evaluating HubSpot, we would love to help you out.
Yeah, definitely. And also there's a CMS. So that's an extra bonus. If you would like to build your website right there on HubSpot, you can do that as well. And I think there are also, we didn't have time to go over it today, but at Inbound, there were also quite a few, decent chunk of updates about the HubSpot CMS builder too. So there's lots of those, lots of upgrades coming to that.
For those who like to try before they buy as well, HubSpot has that covered, where they have a number of free tools that you can utilize. No doubt, we work primarily with pro and enterprise licenses, and it's what we use for ourselves. But if you do want to see, and evaluate, do kind of your own research a little bit before talking with Flawless Inbound about what HubSpot can do as a platform for you, a sales leader, a marketing leader, maybe even as a web developer, if you want to use the CMS. You can. HubSpot's got a great site. It does have a free version for you to try out. And please, we're not pushy here. If you just want to talk to us a little bit about HubSpot, we're more than happy to connect with you for a few minutes and answer maybe any questions that come up that were unanswered during this webinar, because there are a whole ton of features that existed before the Inbound 2020 conference that we haven't even covered. We have just scratched the surface here and have announced really the new things that have come out.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, for everyone's information, I just see a chat regarding that. We are definitely sending the recording of this. You'll get it in the next couple of days as soon as we get it downloaded and we get it edited, so we don't have 10 minutes of us saying nothing at the beginning. We'll get it sent to you then. And you'll also get a couple of fun links to check out when we send you the recording. And yeah, I guess doesn't look like there's any other questions. So I think we can go ahead and close out today. So just again, one final thank you to everyone for joining us for this much time. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us for this. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to anybody at any time and we'd be happy to answer you.
Thanks, everyone. Congratulations to Cassandra for winning the book. Connect with John about that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
All
Have a
right,
good day.
everyone.
Bye.
Have a
Okay, bye,
great
guys.
rest of the day. Talk to you soon. Bye.